Year 5, I hope that you're all well. Welcome to the third lesson of our topic learning. Now today you will need again to use the link that is in your topic packs that we have sent out for you. It is the World Book Day link. In that you should see a map. We are going to be using this today because today what we're going to be looking at is descriptive writing, and in particular we are going to be focusing on expanded noun phrases. Learning sheets, there is a World Book Day link which will take you directly to the first couple of chapters of the book, including this map if you want to take a closer look. What we are going to be doing today is we are going to be coming up with a description of one of the places that it talks about in this book that is shown in the map. So for example, we might want to be talking about Splendid Road here, or we also might want to be talking about Ghost Estate. Perhaps you might want to look at Forgotten Road or No Man's Land. It's completely up to you. But before we do that, I want us to have a think about our expanded noun phrases, because that makes our writing go from a 5 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 really, really quickly. I want you to have a think. What is an expanded noun phrase? What is included in that? Quick example that I've come up with of an expanded noun phrase: the pleasant smiling lady outside the shop. Now, this version of an expanded noun phrase is actually split up into 4 parts. And those parts are: the is your determiner. Now, your determiner, remember, tells you a little bit about the noun. It tells you how many you have, or maybe who it belongs to. Then you've got your adjectives. I've chosen 2 adjectives here, and because I've listed them, I've put a comma in the middle. So pleasant and smiling. I've used that to describe the noun. Now, the noun, remember, is a person, a place, or an object. And your last one is the one that takes your expanded noun phrase from probably a 7 or an 8 to a 10. And this is an optional thing that you can add on the end of it. So a prepositional phrase is a phrase that tells you about the position of your noun, so whereabouts your noun is. So this lady is outside this shop. Please don't worry about rewinding that and going over it again, because there is an awful lot there. Now, what I would like you to do is come up with your own expanded noun phrases, and I would like at least 2 of them. Remember, your expanded noun phrases needs to at least include a determiner, an adjective, and a noun. And if you really want to push yourselves, which I would imagine that a lot of you do, I would like you to include a prepositional phrase in there as well. What I've done now is I have created my own expanded noun phrase using my determiner, adjective, noun, and prepositional phrase based on one of the areas of the map that we looked at a little bit earlier. I have chosen Forgotten Road, and I closed my eyes and I imagined what something would be like if it was completely forgotten, and I imagined that it would be like a ghost town. There would be nobody there. So I said a ghostly statue underneath a waving tree. Now, some of you might look at that and think, oh, Miss Cox, pretty good. You've included some personification. Now, personification, remember, is when you're saying that a noun, so an object that cannot move, is doing something that a human can do. So, for example, a tree can't actually lift up its hand and wave. But here, if you say a waving tree, you're imagining that it's dancing a little bit in the wind. Think really, really hard about your adjectives. So if you close your eyes and imagine the Forgotten Road as dark or scary, I'm not going to be hugely impressed with those words, because I wouldn't think that you put a lot of thought into them. So you could choose words like eerie, ghostly, spine-chilling, hair-raising. These are all adjectives that are really, really powerful and create that brilliant image in the reader's mind. What I've done is I've thought about the Forgotten Road, and I've come up with lots of different expanded noun phrases that I think that I could use, things that I think that I would be able to see there. And I've put them all together in a paragraph. So this paragraph reads: at the end of the eerie, spine-chilling street, there was a ghostly statue underneath the waving tree. That's the one that I used before, which swayed and danced to the rhythm of the wind. Just behind the statue, a broken window bared its jagged teeth, ready to scare off anyone who dared to pass it by. Writing your own descriptive paragraph, what it is really important not to do, which I know that some of you often slip up on, is you are not creating a story of things that happen. You are not creating a set of events. You are not going yourself into the street and then hearing a crash and then going down the street. You are simply describing the place that you are in. And the easiest way that I find to do this is not to talk in first person. So not to talk from your own perspective, it's to talk in third person. So at the end of the eerie, spine-chilling street, there was a ghostly statue underneath a waving tree, which swayed and danced to the rhythm of the wind. Now, again, I've used my personification there, but I would like you to think about that last bit of that sentence that I've just read, which swayed and danced to the rhythm of the wind. What is that an example of? Think back to your GPS. What is that an example of? Managed to get the answer, because that is quite a technical aspect of year 5 that we have been looking at. And that is an example of a relative clause. Now, a relative clause is an extra piece of information in a sentence that is connected using a relative pronoun. So who, whom, that, which, and what. So it's really, really important that we are adding these extra pieces of information using either relative pronouns or your conjunctions. All right, so that is your subordinating and your coordinating conjunctions. Think really, really closely about those, because that will take your writing from a 5 upwards. It's really important that we are connecting our ideas together and including extra pieces of information in our writing. Is your turn. What I would like you to do is to choose a place on the map. You might want to rewind the video to have a look at the map that I'd included at the very beginning, or you might want to click on the link that is on your home learning sheet, which will take you to it. It's completely up to you where you choose. However, I would expect every single person to include at least 3 expanded noun phrases. It's really, really important that we are also connecting our ideas using our conjunctions and our relative pronouns if we feel confident to do so. Now, using our conjunctions will take our writing from a 5 and soar it way up to an 8 or a 9. Also, it's really important to think about the adjectives that you're using in your expanded noun phrases, as we were talking before. Really, really take into consideration the vocabulary that you are using. Really looking forward to seeing how creative you can be with this. So once you've finished, please don't forget to send it to the Year 5 email for the whole team to be able to take a look at your fantastic learning. You've been doing a brilliant job so far, Year 5. Very well done. Keep up the brilliant learning.